Let me restart them. Okay. So these days, people are taking the IP technologies, especially for the huge scales of broadcast facility, because of the IP technology covers high flexibility and high scalability. However, there are the applications where the SDI system works better. One of the applications would be the camera shading application, which requires a seamless switching. So in this presentation, I'd like to discuss how to make the seamless switching for the, especially for the camera application. Also, I'd like to discuss the kind of our recommendation to you guys who is implementing the system, including the endpoint equipment with seamless switching. But let me start with the SDI system. So the first SDI standard, SMPTE standard was released in the 1989 for SD-SDI. Since then, the standard was evolved, including the HD, 3G, and 6G, 12G, and the dual link or the quad link. So because it has a long history, 35 years, almost all broadcasters have SDI technology in it, and everyone knows the technology, everyone knows it works. And then actually in the technology-wise, it has a one-to-one connection between the source and the destination, which means that so one BNC cable can carry the one program, essentially. So it is very easy to understand for everyone, so easy to use. And the technology supports low latency and jitter, low jitter in nature. And frame accurate switching can be done in the SDI switching with a sync signal. Could be the BB or could be the tri-level sync, but anyway, we can do it. And then also for the video, audio, and ancillary data synchronization can be done easily by using the embedded system. Because of it is embedded, you don't need to care about the asynchronous between the components. Okay. So because of that, so if I had a picture monitor and a camera and wanted to connect, probably even now, I will look for a BNC cable rather than the RJ45 or the SFP, because I know it works, it is easy to connect, and then less setting up in the equipment. However, we are reaching the limit of the scalability that SDI system can offer. So from the need to look for the new technologies, which is more scalable, people are now taking the IP broadcast system. Then one of the advantage of the technology is that so one nowadays so one BNC, not BNC, one cable can carry the multiple streams or the multiple programs, which means if I had equipment with 100 of the I/O port on the back, and if I want to use the SDI, then I have to prepare the 100 of the BNC cable and need to connect one by one. It is very tedious and time consuming. But if I want to use the IP for that equipment, probably I need a few of the QSP connector on the back, that's it. So here is a kind of the scalability and flexibility offered by IP system. That helps me a lot. Okay? And video, audio, data stream are separately here transmitted using the RTP timestamp for the synchronization. Then the benefit of this way is, so there is a customer request who would like to send the 8 audio languages in the 8 audio streams, the 30 streams, instead of the 1 audio streams. It is because he wanted to send out the 8 languages from each audio studios. So from the each studios, just having the one stream by one stream. So endpoint, I'm just receiving the 8 audio streams to show the total 16 channel audio bars in the display panel. Okay? But if I want to do the same thing in the SDI system, I will likely need a combiner in the middle between receiving the 8 BNC cable in and combine it to make the one BNC output, then connect it to the endpoint. So it means that so I need one more equipment in the middle. So that is another proof of the IP system could give us as a more efficient way to connect the instruments. And then, of course, it is scalable. Customer or the user can choose the 1G, 10G, 25G, or 40G, 100G, 400G, as you want, depend on the application you are working on. And then also, because of it is an IP broadcast system, it has a high affinity to modern facility design, especially when you are connecting to the broadcast system output to the data center deployment or the cloud workflow. If you want to do the same thing with the SDI system, probably you will need a lot of the IP gateway and between the equipment. Then it is obviously not efficient, right? So IP system offers a lot of the flexibility and scalability to us and more efficient way to build the huge systems. But said that, so there are the unique IP challenges. First one will be because it is unique to the typical broadcast engineering, so it takes a time to learn how it works or how we can use it. And then also from the nature of the technology, now packet transmission used in the IP transmission, which means it is asynchronous. Because of it is asynchronous, it's causing the packet jitters. And because of it has a packet jitters a lot, now you have to have a buffer to absorb the packet jitters to get a consistent output on site. But it means that so now I'm having the buffer means that it is generating a latency, which is not good for the live broadcast system. So you have to find a good balance point while getting the low latency, but on the same time absorbing the packet jitter caused by the IP system. Okay, and then also IP, because it is IP system, potential for the drop packets available, and especially it is not a TCP/IP, so not the descending process is happening if you lost the packet, but the packet lost is directly impacting the quality on the content side significantly. Okay. So those are the IP challenges have been there, but so now almost, not all, but most of them are well understood, and we know a lot of the system is now working. So while we are covering a lot of the technical difficulties on the IP systems, but there is an operators challenge. Operators here means so like a person who is doing the camera shading or who is doing the color grading at the post studios, or maybe the quality control person in the master control. For those guys, they need to do their job regardless of the transport, SDI or IP. They don't care about it. They don't need to care about it. So for the engineers, system engineers, who is designing the system for those operators has to ensure IP system is replicating the traditional workflow SDI system provided. Otherwise, operators cannot do today's job anyway, because until now, he was working with the SDI system. So for the engineers, it is very important to make the new IP system or the SDI IP transition is invisible to the operators. One of the applications which is we need to care about is a camera shading application. So camera operators will do the switching the source input from between the cameras so quickly, because they need to make a balance between the cameras in terms of the luminance or the colors. Because of that, the system has to support a quick operation, quick response time with a low latency, and it should not have any glitches in the switch, middle of the switches. In the SDI system, SDI matrix switch offers the solution at free of charge, because so it can be change the input at a switching point in the wave ranking. But in case of the IP system, endpoint equipment is responsible to switch the streams in the IP system. And also, the system supports the endpoint to make it happen. So the combination of the endpoint and the system integration is required to make a seamless switching with a quick switching. Okay. So here, for the sending the video or the audio content in the IP stream, IP system, we are using the multicast system. But by default, multicast traffic would be the broadcast, and it quickly floods the network or the port of the switches. So instead of the broadcast, so we are now using the internet IGMP or the Internet Group Management Protocol to send a selected stream from a source to the multiple devices. In this way, because of the stream are selected, so we could avoid the flooding in the port and in the switch units. In the IGMP system, so we are using in the IGMP system, endpoint equipment sending the IGMP join to get a stream from a source to endpoint, and endpoint equipment sends the IGMP leave to stop the streams to get from the source devices. So in general, this system allows us to get one sender to many receivers. And endpoint equipment, now we are receiving the streams, but there are essentially two ways to switch the streams. One is a break before make, BBM, and another one is a make before break, MBB. So let me discuss the first one, BBM first. Okay? In this case, break before make means, so now let's say so we are receiving the stream A here, and the operator press the button to switch to the stream B. Then that message is coming to the endpoint equipment, and the endpoint equipment sends a leave stream A message to switch, and the switch will stop the sending the stream A. Then this port. After confirming that, endpoint equipment will send the join stream B message, then it will receive it. Because of this process, momentary gap could happen in the middle. But a good part of this method is no bandwidth issue, because stream A and B has stream B is coming to where the stream A used to be. So no bandwidth is constant. Is not there is no concern of the flooding the port. Another way is a make before break. In this case, stream A is available, and the operators press the switches. Now, endpoint equipment sending the join stream B messages, not A, B messages, join, and the stream B stream is coming on top of the stream A. Then endpoint equipment will find the packet with a frame boundary and switch it. After switching, endpoint equipment will send the leave stream A messages. Now stream A is gone from the pipe. So that is the kind of the process we see in the MBB. good part of this one is that because the endpoint have the two streams in a pipe at a time, so the unit can find the frame boundary position to get a seamless switching. But the concern here is that because it is a very short period of time, but there is a time having the double bandwidth, which could cause the port flooding. So if you are making the switching in the MBB, you have to make sure there is enough bandwidth to accommodate the two streams, even a very short time. So that is a very important part. So here, I'd like to show the demo video. First one is a break before make example. And then, can I start? How can, okay, start. So in this case, operator will toggle the two inputs. As operator toggles, input is switched in the picture and the waveform traces. But in the middle of the switching, you will perceive the kind of the glitches or the white line or something like that. It is because this equipment is resetting the input circuit to detect the new one internally. So that's why break before is coming. But in this case, as I mentioned again, so old stream, new stream is coming to where the first stream is there, so flooding issue is not happening. So next one, the video of the make before break example. And let's press it. Oh, okay. Now, make before break. So in this case, operator is toggling very quickly, but you can see the equipment is following the action of the toggling here. So it is very so quick. Actually, in this case, because of the toggling speed is so fast, equipment is keeping the two stream while toggling action is continued. So what equipment is doing is just a frame stream switching at the frame boundary, not sending the join IGMP join or the lever at all. Okay, so that's why endpoint equipment can do the seamless switching so quickly. Okay, and then in this case, we have implemented this MBB on the picture and the waveform, and this movie is not showing the beta vector and any other traces can be done. And also, this control can do through the API or the NMOS or the front panel control. Okay. All right. So next is so this is the kind of the recommendation to when you are planning to integrate this kind of the endpoint equipment in your system for the seamless switching. The first one is it will require the 25G port connection if you are switching the UHD. It is because the UHD stream usually have a 10 gig BPS or around 10 gig BPS, which requires the total 20 gig BPS for the MBB to be operational. Okay, but if you are just using like a HD at a 3G or 1.5G stuff, then probably 10G port configuration would be enough. So depend on the format or the format, you may choose appropriate size of the port configuration. The second one is both stream, stream A or stream B or the before or after streams must be locked to the PTP and time aligned. It is because, okay, port bandwidth may have enough bandwidth to accommodate the two streams, but if the two stream has unlocked the PTP or drifting or not time aligned, like a time frame boundary is very far between two, that case, endpoint cannot do the switching at the frame boundary point, or it will require a very huge buffers to accommodate. which generates another latency, right? So if you are doing the MBB in the system, please make sure two streams are locked and time aligned. Third one might be the kind of the obvious things, but before after stream, both must be the exact same format and frame rate. So if you are using a 1080i 59, next one should be the exact same in 1080i 59. Or if you are doing the 1080i 59 and put the 2160p 50 or whatever, something different, then system has to reset to accommodate the frame rate or format changes. That will obviously causing the glitches in the picture and wavefront traces. So must be exact same. And lastly, if your port has enough, you are sure enough bandwidth in it, and if you can use a static join to get the two streams always available on the port, then that is the most secure way and also the quick way of the offering the further quick switching. Because from the endpoint equipment, I don't need to send the IGMP join or leave message at all because always there. So that is the most quickest way. So as I said, not only the endpoint of the endpoint equipment responsibility, but also system integration is very important to make a proper seamless operation in a unit. Okay. So here is summary. So I discussed kind of the IP system versus SDI system, highlighting the IP system offering the flexibility, the scalability. And I also discussed about some application. There is some application need to replicate the SDI workflow, especially on the operation side. And then I also discussed about the way of the sending the packet multicasting with the IGMP, and also discussed about the way of the switching happening in the boxes, BBM and MBB. Then lastly, I listed several suggestions to you guys when you make a system for the seamless switching with IP system. So this switching demonstration is available at our booth, Telestream, over there. So please come by, stop by to see how it works. Thank you. Any questions?